All right, so I'm here with Tim McMahon, a volunteer at the Colorado Model Railroad Museum out of Greeley. He's here at the RPM meet along with several other volunteers, and they're doing a tree restoration project. So why don't you tell us about yourself, Tim, and then also get into what the restoration project entails for the museum.
Okay, well, first, thanks for your interest. Appreciate it very much. And hello, everybody. My name is Tim McMahon. I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Retired U.S. Air Force, 32 years of active duty. I found this museum the year after it opened and fell in love with it. Didn't have much opportunity during my professional career to do any model railroading. But now in retirement, I'm enjoying that hobby very, very much. I've gotten deep into it. Colorado Model Railroad Museum is what we consider to be the best HO scale or any scale model railroad in the country. At least we try to make it so. We do about 20,000 visitors a year. We're a nonprofit. It was built by David Trussell, who was the publisher of the Greeley Tribune newspaper. And he was here. He built this as a gift for the region with no real idea of how it would evolve. But it has evolved into a nonprofit. We have a vibrant youth program. Our mission is to provide a model railroad experience that educates, inspires, and brings joy to people of all ages. While it's about model railroading, more deeply and more meaningfully, it's about human creativity and the joy that that brings people. I get a special kick as a senior citizen watching guys my age come in with their grandkids or parents come in with their kids and watch them go somewhere else with their imagination. Important to know, especially for those who are not familiar with the museum, it was many years in the planning. It took 5 years to build. It's in its own dedicated building. The railroad is called the Oregon, California, and Eastern. And people ask why an Oregon and California railroad in Colorado. The reason is because Dave Trussell, our founder, worked for a newspaper after he came out of the Army after Vietnam, worked in Lakeview, Oregon, fell in love with the railroad that was there, the Oregon, California, and Eastern, which at time was a subsidiary of both the Great Northern and the Southern Pacific. Weyerhaeuser Timber was the primary customer. So we looked around a couple years ago as we approached our 16th anniversary, realizing that over the 20 years we had been open, the scenery had deteriorated significantly, and in some places it certainly didn't meet our standard. Like most model railroads, it's plagued with dust. That's our constant companion and enemy. We can clean freight cars, we can clean locomotives, we certainly clean track, but it's very, very hard to clean something like this. So the way to go for us was to start fresh. There's 28,000 trees on this model railroad. 20,000 of them are fir, 8,000 of them are aspen and deciduous trees, and all of them are candidates for either restoration or replacement. The primary product that we're using for this is produced by a gentleman by the name of Roger Rasmussen, who owns Coastman Scenic Products out in Port Orford, Oregon. And Roger happens to live near a cedar forest where he harvests this cedar wood, which is native to the area that the museum represents. So we can't get any more authentic than this. He harvests the wood. He has 2 wood shops with special tooling where he cuts these to length, tapers them, burnishes them, places holes on the bottom of each tree to facilitate placement on the modeler's railroad. We also purchase dead branches that we use to place on the trees, like those that you see here. And this is a tree that is in the middle of modeling right now. This is an Oregon cedar. So we start with the trunk like this, and then we apply what is deadfall material as the branches. We do it in HO scale, or very, very close there too. Each of these are placed on the tree trunk individually with hot glue. And we also apply this foliage material that you see here. This is a coconut resin material. It is glued, stained, kiln dried, and sent to us in these packages of dual thickness spruce foliage. So we started this project about 2 years ago. We're probably about 20% done at this point in time. We are all the way down to the ground cover. We restore or replace that. Then goes the ground level vegetation, the grasses, the shrubs, the water, the rocks, and then we go to the trees. And again, these are the very best that we have found in the market for this type of application. They're absolutely stunning. The detail is fantastic. The owner's a great guy to deal with, and I will tell you that he's been very kind to us in supporting this project and giving us product on time and at a very, very fair price. So that's the overview of what we're doing. Today, we're involved in doing somewhat of a clinic using Rogers materials, and we've had a number of visitors who have come throughout the day to watch us do trees. Chris Cochran is my teammate, and Alex, do you want to say hi? Alex is at it for the first time today and is doing a great job building trees. So we hope that he keeps his talents going on this project. We work 2 days a month when the museum is closed to the public, and we have to do that in such a way that we don't interfere with the regular railroad maintenance, the scheduled maintenance, so for track cleaning, rolling stock inspection and repair, and so on and so forth. Our goal is to give our visitors the very best experience we can give them. To see something that creates an impression, the impression creates a mood, and they feel genuinely more happy about their lives than when they walked in the door. That's our job.
Very nice. Now, I do have a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
So, first of all, perfection with scenery is imperfection, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But what I'll tell you, and this is what we learned from our founder, here's what our standard is. We do the very best that we can. Speed is the enemy. We don't have enough time to do what we want to do, but what we do it as well as we can do it with the very best products we believe that are on the market. So our mission is to give visitors the extraordinary experience that we believe we have a reputation for.
Very good. And then I can't help but notice you got different labels on these trees. So you are separating these by species?
Well, these basically are spruce and firs of different types. And these are trees that are commonly found in Oregon and Northern California. So he has various sizes and different techniques for building them. As you can see here, in the case of this tree, this prime pine, it's got a root system down at the base of it. This is what Roger calls a premium tree. And the method for applying the foliage is different than is used for other trees, for example, like this one. So you can see the difference there. The concept is the same for the building. The methodology does vary by species. So we can get trees from 4 inches. Roger will do snags, dead trees, trees that have suffered fire damage or bark beetle disease or other types of problems. If you have interest in these and you want to take a look at the product line, go to Coastman's Scenic Products on the internet and enjoy that website. It's really a great product line. Other things that he does that are unique in the marketplace, at least to my knowledge, is he'll do special things like special effects like these stumps. I can also, or a customer could also special order different types of trees. For example, here I wanted to have a tree that was more cypress looking and also had suffered a lightning strike. So if you look at the main trunk, you can see that it's been snapped off by a bolt of lightning. Yet there's an eagle's nest up here and the tree survives. So this is a larger tree, perhaps closer to O scale, but it will find its way onto the model railroad. So again, stumps with extraordinary detail in the root ball, as you can see. So these are modeling techniques that are very, very difficult to achieve without special tooling. And then he also sells, Chris, could you please send me Forest and the Floor, if you have it down there? Forest Floor?
That's a little bit thicker
Okay.
stuff. Let me see if I can find
So this would be the debris that's around the trees.
Right, right. So this is exactly correct. This is a little bit bigger, but it'd be this kind of product here, and smaller. So this lends itself very nicely to creating the forest floor with live vegetation penetrating through it, and so on.
Very nice. Now, out of the 28,000 some trees you got, how many are getting replaced?
Well, we don't know. We make those decisions as we go along based upon the degree of damage. Many of them are salvageable, but those will become background trees, where for the years the museum's been open, the last 17 or 16, those have been featured trees. So those trees will go into the background. Many of these trees will become what we call foreground trees, where they'll be more conspicuous to the visitor's eye and to a camera.
Sure, so just like a painting, they're going to have the greatest detail and take up the most, what we call attention.
Yes, exactly. And then these more complex trees, like this, and these take about 3 to 4 hours to build. You can see this one's about 2/3 of the way done. So these trees will be in the foreground, and we do these in various sizes.
Very nice. Well, we will be meeting up with Chris later to show you exactly what sections they're working on at the moment.
Okay. And for those of you who have not visited us before, a trip to Denver and then a 1-hour car drive up to Greeley. It's the Colorado Model Railroad Museum. You can find us on the internet, and you will find a number of really good videos with trains running, so you can get an idea about the quality of this museum.
Very good, and we'll be sure to have the links in the description for that.
Okay.
Not just the museum, but also the manufacturer for all this.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Tim.
You bet, Jim, and good luck to everybody.
Yes, thank you.
You bet.
Okay, so we're here with Chris Cochran, who is going to show us what they're doing for scenery on the layout, their different revitalization process.
Alrighty, so over here we've got some of our older area that has to be revitalized. So the layout has been sitting for 16 years with there being multiple days that were open. People are coming in and out with doors opening. The building is slightly pressurized to help with this, but as with everything, dust collects. So as you can see, if I flick one of our older trees, dust flies everywhere. So it's really hard to mitigate that, especially on the older buffer pad material that we've been using. So what we've decided to do is replace the trees as well as the ground cover, because it just collects dust in general. So what Tim and I start by doing is removing all the trees. We try and keep the original tree holes, so that way the idea Dave had stays consistent while we redo it. And then we scrape off the ground cover. If it's ever really bad, we'll spray down alcohol to help it release. And then we just go for trying to keep the same themes and ideas and stories that were originally created, and just emphasize them with the newer products we can buy compared to what the layout was originally done with. So one of the main showcases of this is we have our older aspens down here that have slowly gotten destroyed by people reaching over and looking at stuff. And we've kind of done a gradual change as we're slowly revitalizing the scenery to our newer style aspens as well as our newer style pines that you can see up here. You can also see in some areas where the scenery will get a lot brighter, because like up on this hill, the top has been redone. So you have these brighter bushes that are the exact same tones as the bushes that are down here, for example. And if we move over to the other side, you'll see a lot more stark of a change in color difference. So over here, we redid about a year and a half ago, and we're slowly working on just expanding on it. And you can see much more vivid colors and just overall better processes in general. Dave did the best he could for what he had during the time. So